Good morning, everybody. My name is Terry, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Terry. I'm talking to you live from Austin, Texas, the great state of Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is sweet, and all the drinks are free if you're hanging out with me. Today, I want to talk about big goals, right? Big goals. It's the new year. It's the middle of January. It'll be January when you're listening to this, I trust. But I want to talk about big goals. What were the big goals that you set out for yourself this year? How you doing on them? I set some goals, New Year's resolutions for myself. They lasted 48 hours. 48 hours. I'm pretty good, right? I got 2 days in, and then I broke my commitment to myself on something. So anyway, I want to mention big goals today, right? And so you've heard the poem, two roads converge in the woods, and the road less taken, right? The path less taken. And as you think of big goals, it's probably not going to be an easy path. It's going to be an uncharted path. It's going to be a rough path. It's going to be a steep path. And you're going to be moving a big rock up that path in order to achieve that particular goal. So I want to give you five things that can help you with achieving your big goals. Number one is when you set out to achieve a big goal, remind yourself to keep perspective. And just to give you a little idea about how to keep perspective is take a piece of paper and draw a line across that piece of paper. On the left-hand side, put the number 0, and on the right-hand side, put the number 100. And that, in fact, is an example of your lifeline or your lifespan from 0 to 100. And then take and say, where am I today on this lifeline? And you're probably going to put a dot at whatever your age is, wherever you think that age is on that line, you're going to put a dot. And then if you take a look at 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, where is that? Because that's probably what it's going to take you to achieve some of the things that you want to achieve. If it's losing weight, if it's getting into shape, if it's eating better, all those pieces that we do at the new year, it's probably going to be 30, 60, or 90 days, a season, in order to accomplish it. Well, how much of that is your lifespan? And what I'm really talking about is perspective. People go, oh my gosh, I couldn't do that for that long. Well, wait a minute. Let's get perspective on it, right? And so when you get perspective on getting in shape, how long will it take you to lose the weight if you lose it at 2 to 4 pounds a week? You want to lose 20 pounds? 2 pounds a week, 10 weeks. How much of your life could be dedicated to 10 weeks or 12 weeks? It's not that long in relationship to your entire life. If you want to make some changes, number one, get perspective. How long and how much time commitment in relationship to my entire life? Number two is mindset. And when I talk about mindset, I go, what's your mindset? Is your mindset telling you that you can? Is your mindset and your thermostat set on you have to? It's a must. It's not a want to, but it is a must have. And those are significantly different, right? A lot of people want to win. A lot of people want to be successful. A lot of people want to have more wealth and more money. But are they willing to do what it takes in order to get there? So the first part of that is in a mindset is your mind somewhat curious? Are you in the world of possibility thinking? Is it possible? Could I really even do this, right? Are you curious about it? How would this look if I were to try to do it this way? Whether it's something at work, whether it's something about your health, are you curious about it? Many times people talk, before they even get started, they talk themselves out of doing something. And they start having a mindset that says, I can't, it won't work, it's too risky, I shouldn't, what's everybody going to say? I met with someone the other day, and they, in fact, said they didn't want to do something because they were afraid they were going to fail. That ever happened to you? You stop before you ever even get started. The only way you can fail is by not trying, right? It's funny because when I started Orange Theory Fitness, I put a PowerPoint presentation together. I sat down in front of 25 CEOs of health club chains around the world, actually. I sit on a roundtable for best practices, and I showed all 25 of those people the concept of what Orange Theory Fitness was going to be. And every single one of them said, don't do it. Do not do this. It's not sticky enough. It won't work. It's too labor intensive. I don't even understand how you can make money with that concept. And whatever you do, do not put your own money into it. I went ahead and did it anyway. And of course, today we have over 1,500 locations. We're in 23 plus countries, translated, I think, in, 4 or 6 languages plus. Any case, believe in yourself is what I would tell you from that particular story. Believe in yourself and go with your instincts and go with what you think you can do. Number 3, in terms of big goals, pace yourself. Pace yourself. And, when I say that, think about running is, you can't run a marathon without having some kind of a pace. And you need to be able to pace yourself. How did I learn pacing? This is funny. My dad, when I was a kid, young, I was probably 10 or 11 years old. My dad took me out to the track at the high school, and he wanted me to, learn how to pace myself because I was going to be running a race. And we went out on the track, and of course, we were going to run a mile, and, I shot off and took off, and of course, got out of breath very quickly. And my dad was very slow to start. And I thought I was beating him, but I wasn't even a quarter way around the track. And then he came up and he, told me to pick up the pace and stay with him. Just stay with his pace. Don't go faster than he was. Don't go slower than he was going. And he actually taught me how to pace myself. But I'm telling you, when you're thinking about big goals and you're trying to accomplish something big in your life, remember to pace yourself. You can pick up the pace, and you can slow down the pace depending on how things are going. Just make sure that you can finish the race. I wish I knew the name of this because I've run 3 marathons, and there's a gentleman that has a book, and I read the book, and it was how to finish a marathon, not how to, get a timing, a certain time in a marathon. The whole book was about how to just finish the race, how to finish a marathon. So remember, that is consistency beats variability, meaning you can't have highs and lows and fasts and slows and all over the place. Pace yourself, right? Pace yourself. And remember, if you're going to do a big goal, easy paths lead to crowded places. That means you're probably on a difficult path. You're going to be on a difficult path. Know that going into a big goal, but also know that there won't be many other people on that path. You see, there is no traffic jam on the extra mile. That's what sets you apart. If it was easy, right? Everybody would do it. What's easy for you or easy is easy for others. What's hard for you is hard for others. Make sure you pace yourself. Number 4 is, how do you create a plan? You create a plan the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. The same way you eat an apple, one bite at a time. Break it down into its smallest parts. Break it down into times of the day or times of the week or times of the month. Whatever it is, try to break it down into its smallest part, and you go, I can do that. You don't need to solve or achieve the goal in a week, in a day, in a month, but you need to take a step toward doing that, something small. Remember that everything has a beginning, it has a middle, and it has an end. The hardest part is getting started with these big goals. Make this big goal like a book of short stories, right? Make it with a bunch of little pieces to it, and you put all those pieces together, and you get a great book of a lot of short stories. Remember to start with the end in mind. What is the result I'm trying to get? And then work backwards into what you need to be doing. But number 4 is break it down into small, bite-sized, attainable pieces. Number 5, you got to put forth the effort. Never forget that. I say this all the time. Nobody can do your push-ups for you. No one can do your push-ups for you. I was talking with someone last night and they said, I'm trying to figure out how to hire somebody that can do my workouts for me. And I laughed and I said, nobody can do your workouts for you. You've got to take ownership. Just like nobody's going to come and clean your garage. Well, they could. You could hire somebody to do that. But you got to pump your own gas. You got to take out the garbage. You got to clean the garage. You got to pick up your clothes. You got to do your laundry. You got to take the call. You've got to put in the effort, right? You've got to put in the effort. Nobody can do your push-ups for you. All that being said, I just want to remind you, 5 ways to attain or things you can do to achieve a big goal. At the end of that, there's nothing better than the feeling of accomplishment that you did it. I remember my first marathon. It was the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. It was 45 degrees and raining, and I froze my ass off, quite frankly. It was freezing during that run. But there was nothing better than finishing that in the Marine Corps Marathon. If you've done it, you know this. If you haven't, you may know it anyway. But it finishes at the statue for the Iwo Jima Memorial, where the Marines are putting the flag in the ground. We've all seen that before. But that you have to run up the hill and around the backside of the memorial. And when you get there and you cross the finish line, there is a Marine in his full uniform, and Marine is the one that puts the medal around your neck for completion. And you talk about a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of really attaining something. For me personally, it was my first marathon, and it was a big deal. All I'm suggesting is the feeling of getting there, the feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of self-fulfillment is unbelievable. Stop talking about it. Start doing something. Start taking action. Follow those easy, quick steps. Number 1, keep perspective. Get a good mindset. Pace yourself. Break it down into its smallest bite-sized pieces. And finally, put forth the effort and win. Achieve that big goal in 2023, and I'll be at the end of the finish line cheering you on. I'm pulling for you. My name's Terry. I'm your friend.